So on Thursday, Tyreek Hill was on Teron Armstead's channel talking to him about his injuries and the history, or not the history, or the future of him playing. So we're going to react to some of that. And I'm going to give you a quick update on the injuries going into the Falcons game. What is up, Finn fans? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday. The weekend is here. So shout out to everyone that's hanging out, that's watching, that's giving me your Saturday. I appreciate you. So yeah, Tyreek Hill was on Teron Armstead's channel Thursday, the 23rd. It was released. I think they recorded previously, but they talked a lot. It was a very long episode. I'm going to link it below. Go check it out. I'm not going to react to the entire thing. We're just going to react to little bits and pieces of kind of what he talked about, and some things that I found interesting. But before we jump into that, I do want to talk and give you an update on the injury report. But before we do that, shout out to Sleeper. Bam, $20. That's it. That's all I got. No, you get a free $20 entry, but you also get 100% matched up to $100 if you use the promo code DDW. Go check them out. Fun fantasy app. I use them all the time. I show it to you all. It's just fun. It's real fun, real easy to use. Go check them out. Yeah, let me real quick give you an update on the injuries. So the Falcons injury looks a lot worse than I thought it was. You got 4 guys out, and Billy Bowman Jr., Devon Diablo, Storm Norton, and Jalon Walker. Then you have 4 questionable in Jordan Fuller, Tyler Algier, Zach Harrison, and Michael Penix Jr., who was limited for all 3 days. He is questionable. And honestly, I don't know who I'd prefer to face, whether it's Michael Penix or if it's Kirk Cousins. Because Kirk Cousins will tear you up. Michael Penix, I don't know. You know, he's very inconsistent up and down. So very interesting there. And then the Miami Dolphins are very small. Julian Hill's out and Jason Marshall Jr. is questionable. But obviously, if I showed you who's on IR, it's a laundry list from James Daniels to Austin Jackson to Kader Kohu to now Darren Waller to, you know, Liam Eichenberg. The list goes on and on and on and on for everyone whose season is essentially over for the Miami Dolphins. It is a very long laundry list of injuries for this team. But hey, so far we only got one guy who's out. Yeah, Tyreek Hill, injured reserve. Darren Waller, injured reserve. Jason Marshall Jr., injured reserve. Jason Sanders, injured reserve. Austin Jackson, James Daniels, Andrew Myers, Jermaine Ifedi, Alexander Madison. Who else? Kader Kohu, Artie Burns, Jason Maitre. Injured reserve, injured reserve, injured reserve. Now we have some guys who can come back, and from what Omar Kelly was talking about, he said that he saw Austin Jackson kind of rehabbing, so hopefully we get him back sooner than later. But as of right now, that is kind of your update on that. So let's listen to a little bit of what Austin Jackson, I'm losing it, Teron and Tyreek had to talk about. Again, it was a full hour. Teron Armstead talked about some, you know, the Russell Wilson situation. He talked about the Dolphins, Falcons, Eagles, Giants, Ravens, Bears. And then again, he talks to Tyreek and all that stuff. But I'm interested in a few little tidbits that I want to talk about. So we're going to start with, he gives a little bit of an update on how he's doing.
To me, my good brother. How's everything going, man? How's rehab right now?
Rehab going good, man. I've been attacking it, you know, every day. Obviously, I got to enjoy the small victories and just take it one day at a time, man, and just count the many blessings that God has blessed me with, man. So I know it's going to be a long journey ahead, and, you know, I just got to be mindful of, you know, it's not going to come whenever I want it. You know, obviously it's all about God's timing. So
It's real.
just trying to, you know, enjoy the kids, enjoy my family, enjoy my boo, and then just be happy in my life, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like you start cheesing
Yo,
when I
you
said
funny,
that,
bro.
bro.
You are funny, dog.
It just sucks that he got hurt. That's just kind of how this season's going, to be honest with you. You know, in a game against the Jets where he was doing really well and tearing it up, he gets hurt. And it's like a gruesome injury that might be career threatening, and he even talks about that.
I want to this episode, Rick. I want to give people an opportunity to get to know you a little bit more than the jersey and the helmet. I know
Okay.
you personally. Like, I have the privilege to know you personally, and your heart and your mind, the way you think. So I want to dive into some of your mentality and the way that you process. Starting with, we're gonna get this going. Take me through your what's happening mentally while you were being taken off the field. Like, what was your reaction?
This is what I'm interested in because, again, a lot of people were, and you know, I've talked about this at nauseum. A lot of people were thinking he was saying yes, that he got hurt. I think it was just a scream, like, you got to be kidding me type thing. Let's see what Tyreek says.
To your injury.
Well, you know the crazy part about it, when I got tackled, I immediately tried to get up and like I couldn't like use my right, or I couldn't use my left leg to get up because I'm left-handed. I'm left-hand dominant. So I tried to get up and I seen that my leg was like crooked. And I was like, "Oh shit, I got a fucking party scar, baby." So I immediately started laughing, man, cuz like I feel like, man, like I've been able to play this game for 10 years, man. Well, really my whole entire life, man. And, you know, I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying, with great talents and great gifts and just the amount of support that I get, you know what I'm saying, from my family. It's like amazing, man. So I really wasn't even thinking about the injury. I was just thinking about the great times I've had playing this game and just me being in Miami, like it all came full circle. Like I was like, bro, like this is I mean, I know it's not it, but like I was just happy, bro. I was just happy, like, cause I'm always trying to find like the good in everything, man. I was like, I get time to like think about my kids. I mean, I get time to spend with my kids. I get time to like travel. I get time to like really like sit down and just enjoy, you know what I'm saying, my life and not always train. Cause I feel like all of my life, like that's all I do. I'm nonstop. You can
Yep.
ask anybody. All I
Yep.
want to do is train. I want to live in the gym. I want to live on the track. Like I gotta want to live on a jug machine. Like that's
Mhm.
always been me, and it's never been like me like sacrificing my time for my family or sacrificing my time to do some of the things that I want to do. So
But did you
um
instantly think that though, Rick? Did you automatically like when did that process start to you start thinking about everybody else and thinking about the time you would have for your kids, for your family? Was it on the field while you're
it,
being driven away? Like,
it was
that's
on the field. It was on the field because the crazy part about it is my mom, she ran on the field. Like I don't know
oh
how I
mom.
told bro, what's crazy is my mom ran on the field and I'm like, I looked up and I'm like, how you get on the field? So my mom came.
Oh man, I honestly, so maybe he did say yes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did say yes. You know, we'll listen a little bit longer to see if he actually, you know, if Teron asks him, you know, did you say yes or but maybe he did say yes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was like, I get to spend time with my family now. But him talking about his mom, and again, when me and Teron were talking, and I think we're going to talk again maybe after the Ravens game because that'll be the midseason. He was telling me that he was like upbeat and he was saying, you know, oh, you know, we're gonna play. You want to play Call of Duty or a Battlezone tonight, later Battlefield later tonight, and yada yada. And you can kind of see how or hear how he's talking like that. I got a fun story real quick that because he's talking about his mom running on the field. I went snowboarding my freshman year of college. I was like 19, and I destroyed my left knee. Like I had an air cast and everything. And while I was in Pennsylvania, I had to get taken to the hospital. And I called my mom, who worked in New York in the hospital, because my mother, as well as my wife, as well as a lot of people in my life are in the medical field. I called her letting her know, hey, I'm in the hospital, but my cell phone wasn't working very well and I got barely any reception. So I'm like, hey, I'm in the hospital. She's like, wow, 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 wow. And then it cut out. No more than maybe a minute later, the nurse moves the curtain. I'm in the ER in Pennsylvania, moves the curtain. She says my name, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, your mother's on the phone. My mother called the hospital ER. She was on the phone. They wheeled my bed over so I could talk to her. Moms will find you, and they'll do what they need to do.
Hey man, actually my grandma, she came and she kissed me and she was like, "Hey, I'm just glad you smiling." I was like, "Yeah, you know I'm always gonna be smiling, man." So I'm always thinking about, you know what I'm saying, 5 steps. Obviously, like I said, it's gonna be a long journey, and for some people it could be tough, man. But I'm looking at this as like an opportunity for me to, get closer with my kids, build that relationship with them even stronger.
I
Like
love it.
even start going to church more on Sundays and just groom myself into, what I'm saying, the man that my grandparents raised me to be. So I'm just using this opportunity for that, man. And so far, 2 weeks away from surgery, I'm having a blast, man. I'm having a blast with my kids. Although it hasn't been easy, I'm still adjusting to this dad stay at home life, waking up, feeding the kids, brushing their
Yeah.
teeth. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get them ready for the day. That's tough. I
Listen,
commend all the moms across the world, man. Hey, you guys are amazing. You
facts.
know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
I'm still adjusting, man.
Shout out to the moms around the world, for
Shout out to
real.
the moms, man.
I
Shout out
I
to the
agree,
moms,
Rick.
bro.
I've been
Shout out to the
retired now.
moms. Shout out to the single moms, especially
So
especially the single moms, man. Shout out to the moms, man. I was even thinking, man. I need to do a foundation event for just moms, bro.
I'm in. I'm in, bro. I'm in.
Shit hard, bro.
No, for real. I've been retired now for like 6 months, bro. My kids get on my nerves. I love them to death.
Bro,
Question, but just all that, you know what I mean. This every day being here, just doing everything. Shout out to the moms. Shout out to the moms for sure. Y'all got
yeah,
our
man.
love and respect.
For
Uh,
real.
Reek, I know you heard the chatter after your injury.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it over? Is he done? Tyreek is over 30 now. He's a speed receiver. X, Y, and Z. What's your reaction? What's your response to that?
Well, at the end of the day, man, I feel like that decision is all based upon, how I feel and where my mindset is at the moment. Like right now, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy with being with my kids. I'm happy with, what I'm saying, the career that I've had, and I love playing football. I love it, man. But it takes a lot. Like a lot of people are like, T said, it takes a lot, man, to be the best and to stay at the top and, make a lot of money and, help your team win games and stuff like that. It takes a lot, man. It takes a lot on you mentally, it takes a
Yeah,
lot on you physically. And like I'm at the point now where I'm just like I need to have a conversation with mom, family, everybody.
that's
Like,
real. That's
hey,
real.
what? So, like I said, wherever my mind is at the time, the decision to be made. But I just know right now, I, ju- I feel like I haven't had time to just live in the moment. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And just be in the moment with my family. So I just want to be in this moment with my family. I think that's the appropriate answer for something like that. I don't want to make any rash decisions, obviously. So
That's
just want
real.
to be in the moment.
So there's a lot more. Obviously, there's a lot more that they talk about. What his legacy should be. Letter he, to his grandparents, supporting Tua after being 1-6. A lot, and he still supports Tua, and he still, thinks he's his guy, and he actually comes out and says, him calling him out is something he needed. So there's a lot more to this. So go check out Teron Armstead's channel. Check out the episodes. Subscribe. He broke 11,000 subs recently. Like I said, I think the mid-season point, we're going to work together again, me and Teron. Love working with Teron. Great man. And, the fact that, he's working with me is just absolutely amazing. But to what Tyreek said, the last thing he just said about, hanging him up, it didn't sound very confident. I'll say that. Now, I'm not saying he's going to or not. Regardless, unfortunately, it is a cap savings by moving on from him. So, 36.3 million, regardless if he wants to or not, it's something that's most likely going to happen. Man made his money, right? The man has set his legacy up. I honestly think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is a generational talent. Everything he's done on the field is just ridiculous. His Super Bowl wins and all that stuff. But his hesitation and his not, obviously, like he said, it's too soon to tell. He hasn't even started rehabbing it. And I think that's when he'll know. When he starts to rehab, and if he's noticing, things aren't moving as progressively as he would like them to, or, things like that, I think that's when he'll know, when it's time or not. Kind of like Xavier Howard and like Teron Armstead, when those guys decided to retire. And again, Tyreek being able to stay home and hang out with his kids and, do the day-to-day might entice him to stay home more, because that's what got Teron, that's what got Xavier Howard. And as somebody who, I started working from home, my wife was a nurse in the hospital when I had my first daughter. So, when she went back to work, I was at home with my daughter up until she was about 2.5. I was the stay-at-home dad while I worked from home. It's different, because I remember the first time I went down to Florida, I think it was the Giants game. Yeah, it was the Giants game was the first time I went to Florida after my daughter was born, because before that I would go every year in October and November. After my daughter was born, the Giants game was the first game I went to, and I was down there for like 5-6 hours, and I was already like, I miss my daughter. Like it takes a toll, and I could just imagine they're gone for months. You don't really see your family for months. So it seems like, if I had to give a percentage, I think he's like, right now he's like 65-35. When it comes to 65%, I think he's leaning towards retiring, to be honest with you. But it's a very bad knee injury he sustained, and I think he is, enjoying the moment, living in the moment, but he's also weighing his options, because again, money's not a problem. His legacy's not a problem. Fame's not a problem. Like, none of that stuff is a problem. It's more about, his body. That's what it comes down to with a lot of these football players. Dan Marino wanted to play some more. Minnesota wanted to sign him. If you know the story, I think it was the 2000 season. Minnesota wanted him to go play for them. He was thinking about it, and then he realized that his body is just beat up. His legs are just not what it wants to be. And, he has to go play up in Minnesota. So, he decided to retire a Dolphin. If not, if his legs were, a little bit better, his career might be different in the fact that he would play for the Vikings for a season or two. So you never know. But again, I think he's leaning towards retiring. So again, go check out the entire interview. It's a great interview. Some interesting stuff there. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you tomorrow at 1:00. This is, it's going to be a short turnover. So tomorrow, 1:00, we have the game. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I have to give you all the stuff that I want to give you. Again, film breakdown is going to be on the Patreon. I'm sorry I didn't do it on this past week. A lot of stuff came out. Then we have the Ravens game on Thursday, and then the trade deadline on Tuesday. So after the Ravens game, you're going to get some trade deadline stuff. And then I want to make a Tua video, kind of breaking down what's going on with him. Because again, I'm taking these next two games to really look at his mechanics, his play, and everything. And if my hypothesis is correct, something I talked about, if you want to go back to my prospect video in 2020, it's not looking good. But I'll see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. FN's up.